First things first. Matt, condolences to your family. I heard about your father. How's everybody doing?
We're doing well. Thanks for asking. My dad went to Colorado, played at Colorado. I was born in Boulder, so he'd be excited that I was on here tonight talking about a Colorado quarterback.
All right, well, good. Let's make him happy. Help me understand what happened here and why.
Listen, this is a challenging situation, but it's really just musical chairs. I mean, there's really only 5 teams in this year's draft that were looking for a starting quarterback. One of them was Tennessee with the first overall pick. They were taking Cam Ward from Miami. The other one was Pittsburgh, and I think they're waiting on Aaron Rodgers. So now we're down to 3 teams: the New York Giants, the Cleveland Browns, and the New Orleans Saints. And essentially what happened was Shedeur was in the mix. He was in the running for one of those starting jobs, and he didn't get it. The Giants picked Jackson Dart, the Saints picked Tyler Shuck, and then the Cleveland Browns went with Dylan Gabriel, who finished 3rd in the Heisman voting this year, quarterback out of Oregon. And so Shedeur got left out of that musical chairs of starting quarterbacks. And now we're talking about backup quarterback, and that's why I think he dropped so low. Because of his personality, I'm not sure he's really the kind of guy that they felt like would fit as a backup to whoever the starter was in their locker rooms.
So you didn't even say Deion. You don't think he had anything to do with this?
I mean, I would say this about Deion Sanders. I think Deion, as a whole, has a ton of respect and admiration for the people across the board in the NFL. I think they respect who he was as a player. I think they respect what he did in college football. It was an amazing turnaround of CU, what he did out in Boulder. I think there's a lot of respect there. Are there some things that maybe his bravado and his brashness, maybe they love it when he's a cover corner and don't like it when he's the quarterback dad? Yeah, maybe that's a little bit true, but no, I don't think it's just that. I think that the Deion thing is not the problem. I think the problem is there's 3 things that I know are huge in a locker room, in an NFL locker room. Excellence, being the best in the world at what you do. Hard work, no one's outworking you ever. You can count on me to get my job done. And then the third is unselfishness and humility, being a team player, not throwing your teammates under the bus, things like that. And I think that third layer might be the part that gave some NFL teams pause. Maybe he wasn't elite at the unselfishness, humility, humble part, where guys like, you know, the guys I mentioned, or even other guys. You got Will Howard from Ohio State, who's in the mix. You got Riley Leonard from Notre Dame, who's in the mix. You got Kyle McCord from Syracuse, who's in the mix. There's other quarterbacks that were maybe equal talent level or close enough, who maybe were off the charts in some of the other intangibles in terms of what the scouts were looking for.
So this kid is good, but he wasn't blow away good where it made no sense for people to pass on him just as talent, right? Because even if you're not looking for a quarterback, generally you want to draft the best talent that you can as a team, right? Whether you have a specific need or not. So ordinarily you'd think a guy who's supposed to be the best or one of the 2 best, you pick him up just to have the talent, even if it's just a chip.
Well, listen, I really believe that there were 4 opportunities, maybe 5, for him to be the guy. I mean, he had a chance to go number 1 to Tennessee. I mean, he was in the mix. They were considering it. They were doing their homework. The New York Giants, I believe they were close. They did their due diligence on him. The Cleveland Browns, they chose to go in a different direction. The New Orleans Saints, it was right there. Pittsburgh Steelers, like, they investigated. They kicked the tires. Like, I think people felt like, hey, this could be a really good fit. And it just, you know, basically it's kind of like getting asked to the prom. You get one person, you can say yes to one person. And ultimately it's those guys I mentioned, they pick somebody else. And then what happens a lot of times in the NFL, you really do want your backup quarterback to be a little bit invisible. Like, you don't necessarily want them to stick out. And so, like, as an example, if the Pittsburgh Steelers are planning on signing Aaron Rodgers, I think Will Howard, the quarterback that just won the national championship with Ohio State, he kind of has this, like, humble mindset where he'd come in and just be, like, sort of invisible for a little while Aaron Rodgers ran the show.
Matt Hasselbeck, I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Appreciate you setting us straight. And again, condolences to your family. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.